Back in 1885, a visionary inventor named Carl Benz changed the world forever with the creation of the very first technical car. Fast forward to today, and the world of automobiles has become a playground for the ultra-rich collectors and brilliant engineers who've propelled the industry to new heights. Join us as we show you the 21 rarest and most expensive cars of all time. Number 21, Rolls-Royce 15. In the realm of ultra-rare and coveted vintage automobiles, few can compare to the magnificence and heritage of the Rolls-Royce 15 HP. Debuting in 1904 at the Paris Auto Show, this model holds the prestigious distinction of being the very first production car ever made by Rolls-Royce. Even more incredibly, out of the minuscule production run of only 6 vehicles, it is believed that only a single example remains today. With an estimated value of $35 million in present times, the 15 HP encapsulates over a century of history and significance for both Rolls-Royce as a brand and the dawn of the automobile itself. Powered by a modest 3.1-liter twin-cylinder engine producing a gentle 15 horsepower, the 15 HP was never intended to be a speed demon. Its top speed reached a quaint 39 miles per hour, perfectly suitable for gently touring the countryside manor roads of Edwardian high society. What the 15 HP lacked in performance, it more than compensated for in sheer refinements and luxury appointments catered towards its intended elite clientele. The chassis alone cost a staggering €500, 2.5 times more than the average annual income in Britain when it debuted. No expense was spared in constructing a driving experience of unparalleled smoothness and quietness, setting the benchmark that has defined the Rolls-Royce legacy ever since. Out of the 6 originally built, only car number 2 is known to still exist over a century later. Having traded hands between prominent collectors, it now resides as the crown jewel in the Rolls-Royce Foundation's collection, a priceless symbol of their very origins. Number 20. Ford GT40 Gulf. The roaring Ford GT40 is an American icon revered for its historic domination of the 24 Hours of Le Mans in the late 1960s, vanquishing Ferrari's long reign. But one particular GT40 stands above the rest in mystique and value. The 1968 Gulf liveried car personally owned and modified by Steve McQueen. Considered the king of cool, McQueen's stamp imbues chassis num1075 with priceless provenance. Sold in 2017 for a record $11 million, this GT40's value is intrinsically tied to its McQueen association. During filming of his racing epic Le Mans, McQueen had a roof-mounted camera installed, cutting a hole right through the car's roof. This act of filmmaking audacity alone would have destroyed most cars' value. Not for the McQueen GT40, however. The car achieved icon status thanks to its silver screen exploits. In addition to Le Mans, chassis number 1075 also starred in McQueen's Bullet after being resprayed Highland Green. The GT40 never stayed one color for long in the King of Cool's hands, also appearing in primer gray. More than just a movie prop, McQueen entered his GT40 in races like the 1970 12 Hours of Sebring. Driven by McQueen's Solar Productions partner, chassis number 1075 placed a respectable 9th overall. Number 19. Jaguar DType. When it comes to automotive royalty, few creations command the same regal reverence as the Jaguar DType sports racer. Manufactured from 1954 to 1957, the D-Type cemented itself as a motorsport legend through dominant victories and enduring beauty that crafted an iconic design template referenced for decades after. While short-lived, the D-Type's racing tenure reached immortal heights at the 1956 24 Hours of Le Mans, where drivers Ron Flockhart and Ivor Bube piloted their works-entered D-Type bearing chassis number XKD 501 to overall victory. This milestone win came 50 years after Jaguar's first Le Mans triumph, punctuating the D-Type's competency. 2 more back-to-back wins followed in 1957 and 1958, making the D-Type Le Mans royalty. But the D-Type wasn't just a proficient racing machine, it pioneered aviation-inspired design that influenced sports cars for generations. Over the decades, the D-Type has traded hands between prominent collectors, including racing greats like Sterling Moss. The pinnacle came in 2016 when chassis number XKD504 commanded $21.78 million at auction, one of the highest prices ever paid for a British automobile. For Jaguar devotees, the D-Type remains the ultimate emblem of the brand's racing heyday, blending victory, beauty, and prestige beyond compare. Number 18. Ferrari 250 GTO. In the early 1960s, Ferrari cemented their racing reputation with the 250 GTO, considered by many as the greatest Ferrari ever made. Hand-built between 1962 and 1964 in a production run of just 36 cars, the GTO represented the pinnacle of Ferrari's expertise in combining beauty, exclusivity, and championship-winning performance. Designed by ingenious engineer Giotto Bizzarini, the 250 GTO essentially married the 250 GT road car with the latest Testarossa racing technology. The result was a 3-liter 512 engine pumping out 3 Hun horsepower nestled into a gorgeous body penned by Pininfarina. Improved aerodynamics and race-tuned performance parts created the ultimate road track hybrid. On the track, the 250 GTO claimed overall victory at Le Mans in 1963, along with 3 consecutive FIA championships through 1964, cementing its legendary status. In 2018, chassis Numbertos 4153 sold in a private sale for an estimated $70 million. For Ferrari collectors and enthusiasts, the 250 GTO stands as the Holy Grail, a treasure that represents the very best of Ferrari during one of their most magical eras. Number 17. Aston Martin Bulldog. In the automotive legends, there are few stories that capture the imagination quite like the curious case of the Aston Martin Bulldog. This radically styled concept car of the late 1970s never reached production, but the sole prototype that exists has carved out its own unique place in history as a testament to daring designs and record-setting feats. The Aston Martin Bulldog was conceived to showcase the British brand's engineering prowess by breaking the 200-mile-per-hour barrier, a feat yet unaccomplished by a production-styled car in the 1970s. Clad in wedge-shaped fiberglass bodywork and styled by William Townes, the mid-engine Bulldog was powered by a 5.3-liter twin-turbo 5.8 motor generating 600 horsepower, a staggering output for the era. When the Bulldog made its first 200 miles per hour attempts in 1979, it reached an impressive 191. However, it fell short of the goal. In 1980, with ambitions abandoned, Aston Martin sold the sole prototype to a Middle Eastern buyer for $158,000 at auction. In 2007, the Bulldog's current owner had the car restored to running condition again. This culminated in another high-speed effort in 2023, where 54 years after the first try, the Bulldog finally eclipsed 200 miles per hour, hitting 205 miles per hour and achieving the long-standing goal that eluded it decades ago. Number 16. Porsche 917K. Developed for a single purpose, total dominance of Le Mans, the Porsche 917 raced into sports car history as one of the most successful cars ever created. Scoring Porsche's first Le Mans win in 1970, the 917 began a legacy that continued with 4 straight victories through 1976. But the initial 1970 triumphs will forever link the 917K model with Porsche's establishment among the endurance elite. Engineers essentially created a race car with no road-going compromises. An aluminum space frame allowed removable bodywork sections for easy access servicing. A flat 12 engine situated the bulk of the weight centrally, starting at 4.5 liters and eventually growing to 5 liters when rules allowed. Aptly demonstrating the 917's capabilities, Gulf-sponsored entries took the top 2 positions at the 1970 race, bracketing Ferrari. The Porsche 917K's significance and rarity make survivors among the most coveted sports racing cars in existence. The 1970 Le Mans winner would command 8 figures easily if ever sold. Number 15. Bugatti Type 57, SC Atlantic. In the pantheon of the most jaw-droppingly rare and valuable cars ever conceived, few come close to the mystique and priceless prestige of the legendary Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic. With only 4 models built between 1936 and 1938, the Atlantic represents the pinnacle of everything Ettore Bugatti set out to achieve with his cutting-edge creations. Of the 4 Atlantics brought into the world, only 2 still remain, imbuing them with a value that rockets into 8-figure territory. Fashion icon Ralph Lauren privately owns one, while the other was sold in 2010 through a private transaction for an estimated $40 million. To call them priceless automotive treasures would be no exaggeration. Just a glance at the 57 SC Atlantic reveals why it has mesmerized collectors for over 80 years with its unmistakable design. Its seamless teardrop shape devoid of running boards, coupled with the prominent dorsal seam running from tip to tail, creates an aesthetic unlike anything else from the pre-war era. This avant-garde styling seamlessly blends form and function, enhancing the car's stout aerodynamics to achieve a top speed of over 120 miles per hour. Number 14. Hela Avant. Motoring history has seen its share of radical innovations and outside-the-box designs, but few creations can match the sheer uniqueness of the otherworldly Hela. The brainchild of French aviation and automotive pioneer Marcel Layat, the Hela seemed to defy classification when it first debuted in 1921. Many contemporary newspapers described it as a plane without wings, which aptly captures its bizarre blending of aircraft and automobile design cues. Unlike any production car before or since, the Hela achieved propulsion not from a traditional engine, but instead by a large airplane-style propeller mounted behind the cabin. The driver could vary the pitch of the propeller blades to control the vehicle's speed. The propeller was powered by a 45-horsepower Layat 8-cylinder engine mounted in the front. The open-air tandem cabin's side-by-side seating recalls early aircraft cockpits, furthering the Hela's unconventional aviator car mashup aesthetics. Marcel Layat's background in aviation clearly influenced the vehicle's design. Its strange shape resembled an amalgamation of car, plane, and boat, creating a unique mobility device like no other. Despite its odd looks and propeller powertrain, the Hela could reputedly cruise along as high as 87 miles per hour on the road. However, any ideas of mass production were far too avant-garde for the times, and Layat only managed to have 30 cars built. Today, the whereabouts of all 30 Helas remain shrouded in mystery. They are believed to reside in private collections, making a sighting an extraordinarily rare occurrence. Number 13. Bugatti La Voiture Noire. If we say automotive excess and over-the-top exclusivity, no creation has made bigger headlines in recent years than the one-off Bugatti La Voiture Noire. Billed as the most expensive new car ever sold, this custom-built $18.7 million, Bugatti claims the crown as the ultimate fantasy purchase for collectors with seemingly bottomless pockets. Unveiled in 2019 as a modern reinterpretation of Jean Bugatti's lost Type 57 SC Atlantic, the Voiture Noire's design channels the 1930s Art Deco era with flowing coupe bodywork and multiple dorsal seams traversing the length of the car. The lacquered black exterior and subtle trim elements conjure visions of a sinister Batmobile or spaceship, yet refined beauty radiates through its hand-formed carbon fiber skin. Under the hood lies a 16-cylinder, 8-liter quad-turbocharged engine producing 1,500 horsepower. This powers the Voiture Noire from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2.5 seconds, with a top speed exceeding 260 miles per hour. Inside, sumptuous leather and bespoke fittings cosset occupants in a sanctuary of unrivaled luxury. Number 12. Tucker 48. The brief but beleaguered story of Preston Tucker and his Tucker 48 automobile represents an infamous yet captivating cautionary tale of chasing automotive dreams in the face of fierce corporate opposition. Tucker established his company with revolutionary visions of bringing new designs and features to the market before his startup met a scandalous demise after producing only 51 cars. Known as the Tucker Torpedo during development before launch, The Tucker 48 intended to introduce game-changing safety and engineering features like disc brakes, fuel injection, magnesium wheels, seat belts, and a rear swiveling center headlight that turned into corners. Unfortunately, Tucker's ambitions were cut tragically short amidst allegations of stock fraud that ultimately tanked the company despite his acquittal in court. The surviving 51 Tucker 48 stand as symbols of innovation and entrepreneurship cut short, resulting in a fascinating mystique that imbues them with great collectability today. Initially sold for $1,000 when new, the Tucker 48 now fetches over $1 million at auction in present times. Their remarkable history and against all odds origins have solidified them as some of the most sought-after American automobiles ever produced. Number 11. Bugatti Royale. The Bugatti Type 41. Royale represents the ultimate expression of extremes: extremely excessive, extremely luxurious, extremely rare, and an extreme source of fascination for automotive enthusiasts. Produced between 1927 to 1933, with the intent of being the most splendid and majestic automobile ever built, the Royale more than lived up to Ettore Bugatti's ambitions of creating the ultimate automobile for royalty. Powered by a gargantuan 12.8-liter straight-eight engine, the Royale generated an impressive 300 horsepower, enough to propel the 2-ton behemoth to a top speed of 125 miles per hour. No expense was spared on the Royale's appointments, featuring Princess of Wales leather, rare veneers, a silver-plated picnic set, and a perfume container. The huge wheelbase allowed for limousines, coupe, or convertible bodies, providing opulent comfort for the wealthy elite clientele Bugatti envisioned. However, the timing and sheer excess of the Royale could not have been worse, with the Great Depression tightening purse strings all around. Bugatti planned to produce 25 Royales, but only built 7, of which 6 still exist. As a result, the current value of the Royales is hard to estimate, as they are rarely offered for sale and each one is unique. However, some experts suggest that they could be worth between $30 million and $100 million each. Number 10. 1939 Alfa Romeo Lungo Spider. The pre-war 1930s hosted a renaissance of sorts for bespoke coach building and design beauty in the dawning age of streamlining. At the pinnacle resided the Alfa Romeo 8C, a supremely elegant sports car handcrafted by Italian coach builders into a variety of evocative body styles. The shortened two-seat 8C 2900 Lungo Spider represented the apex of the 8C's handcrafted charms. First displayed in 1939, the Lungo Spider was the masterwork of renowned carrozzeria touring, who blessed it with their trademark Superleggera construction. This innovative technique used lightweight aluminum alloy body panels affixed to a small steel tube cage, reducing weight while maintaining rigidity. Beneath the undulating hood hid an inline 8-cylinder 2.9-liter engine, good for over 170 horsepower in road trim. Only 12 Lungo Spider 8Cs were produced before war halted civilian car production, making survivors immensely valuable today. In 2016, the exquisite 1939 model owned by John Shirley commanded an incredible $19.8 million at auction, a testament to the timeless beauty and meticulous craftsmanship lavished upon the 8C nearly 80 years prior. For collectors, the 2900 Lungo Spider encapsulates a bygone era of bespoke Italian motoring artisanship seldom matched since. Number 9. Gibbs Aquada. Among the rare vehicles covered, the extraordinarily unusual Gibbs Aquada stands out for its ability to transform from a land rocket into an aquatic speed machine. As the world's first high-speed amphibious car, the Aquada uniquely mastered mobility in two worlds when it debuted in 2003. On land, the Aquada utilized a 175-horsepower, turbocharged 2.5-liter 5.6 engine from the Ford Mondeo to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 6 seconds. Its lightweight composite body construction and sporty suspension tuning endowed responsive, agile handling. Upon reaching water, the Aquada could seamlessly transition into a boat. Its wheels retracted into the wheel wells as twin jet drives emerged underwater to propel the Aquada to over 30 miles per hour on the water. Clever seals and systems prevented leaks between environments. Within seconds, the Aquada converted from tearing down highways to cruising across lakes. This dual-purpose performance found favor from enthusiasts, but struggled to gain traction in the mainstream market. Gibbs Technologies produced the Aquada in low volume through 2004 before ceasing production after building around 30 examples. In 2016, Gibbs auctioned off 20 unsold models for $250,000 each, finding renewed interest among collectors drawn to the Aquada's uniqueness. Number 8. Lamborghini CNFP37. As the storied Italian automaker's first foray into hybrid technology, the limited-run Lamborghini CNFP37 marked a historic turning point for the Raging Bull's future. Yet the CN still stood firmly rooted in Lamborghini's heritage while pushing boundaries. At the heart of this $3.6 million hypercar lies a naturally aspirated 6.liter 512 power plant. Enlarged from the Aventador, yet still revving to a stratospheric 8,500 RPM. This combines with a 34 HP electric motor integrated into the gearbox, creating a total output of 819 horsepower available with immeasurable ferocity. Limited to just 63 examples honoring Lamborghini's 1963 founding, the CNFP37 pioneers hybridization for the brand while upholding heritage. Yet the CN still epitomizes the untamed Lamborghini essence in both spirit and performance. For the lucky few owners, it promises a bridge to the future tinged with nostalgia. Number 7. Mercedes-Benz Fangio. In the archives of Formula One history, few drivers have reached the revered status of Juan Manuel Fangio. The Argentinian ringmaster dominated F1 in the 1950s with 5 world championships. Equally legendary was his car, the Mercedes-Benz W196, which Fangio piloted to 2 championships in 1954 and 1955. The W196 raced into the record books as a pioneer of aerodynamics, performance, and balance. Powered by a 2.5-liter inline-8 fed by pioneering direct fuel injection, the W196 delivered over 260 horsepower in race trim. Designed by brilliant engineers Rudolf Uhlenhaut and Hans Scherenberg, the chassis employed a space frame for stiffness and pioneered the enclosed, streamlined body shape. In 2013, the W196 chassis driven by Fangio to his 1954 World Championship sold for an astonishing $29.6 million, the highest price for any Mercedes-Benz at auction. For collectors, this example's unrivaled racing pedigree as Fangio's personal car makes it an invaluable motoring treasure unlike any other. It combines priceless provenance with engineering genius that cemented Mercedes' racing legacy. Number 6. 1957 Ferrari 335S. The late 1950s marked the final glory days for front-engine Ferrari sports cars as ever more effective mid-engine machines loomed. But the Scuderia saved the best for last, pushing the envelope with over-engineered marvels like the 335S created to dominate the 1957 racing seasons. It represented the ultimate iteration of Ferrari's classic front-engine sports racer archetype. Beneath its voluptuous curves lurked a 4.1-liter 512 breathing through 6 twin-choke Weber carburetors to unleash nearly 400 horsepower. The state-of-the-art suspension featured double wishbones up front and a de Dion axle at the rear. Disc brakes provided unprecedented stopping power. Clothed in luscious Pininfarina coachwork over its tube frame, the 335S looked as fantastic as it performed. In 2016, chassis number 0675, once campaigned by the great Sterling Moss, hit the auction block and sold for a staggering $35.7 million, one of the highest prices ever paid for a car at auction. The jaw-dropping sale proved that 1960 Ferrari front-engine sports cars like the 335S represent the absolute peak of the marque's prowess just before the mid-engine revolution. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. The iconic Spirit of Nemo, inspired by Captain Nemo's legendary vehicle, blurs the line between fiction and reality. Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea sparked the imaginations of inventors worldwide. The legend continued in the 2003 film adaptation, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where the spirit of Nemo made its jaw-dropping appearance. This unique 4-foot-long convertible wasn't just a prop, it was meticulously designed and fully realized by custom car builder Ken Freeman. Astonishingly, it sold for $45,000 at auction, making its owner the proud possessor of one of the coolest cars ever crafted. Have you ever driven a rare car, or do you have a dream car in mind? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Number 5. Koenigsegg ccxr Trevita. Beyond rarity, record-shattering speed, or ESC price tags, some special automobiles also achieve uniqueness through innovative aesthetics. Such is the case with the Koenigsegg ccxr Trevita and its dazzling diamond weave exterior. Limited to just 2 cars ever produced, the Trevita took carbon fiber bodywork to an entirely new level visually. To create Trevita's striking silvery exterior, Koenigsegg pioneered an intricate new carbon fiber weave incorporating glass fibers. When coated in resin and polished to a sheen, the carbon and glass weave transforms from its typical black appearance into a sparkling diamond coat, seemingly plated with silver and flecks of gold. The resulting finish coated the entire exterior in a dazzling sheen, unlike any seen before. Beneath the Trevita's exterior jewel lies a 4.8-liter twin-supercharged 5.8, generating 1,000 horsepower. This enables a 0 to 60 miles per hour sprint in 2.9 seconds and a top speed exceeding 254 miles per hour. High-performance touches like a fixed rear wing, scissor doors, chrono instrument cluster, and infotainment system make the Trevita as advanced as it is aesthetically alluring. With only 2 examples ever created, the Koenigsegg ccxr Trevita exists as one of the rarest production cars in the world. The novel diamond weave exterior pioneering new extremes of automotive eye candy further cements Trevita's status as an exotic and exclusive jewel for the ages. Number 4. Pagani Huayra BC. As a follow-up to the legendary Zonda, Horacio Pagani aimed to surpass himself again with the Huayra, an intoxicating blend of hypercar performance enveloped in an envelope of meticulous carbon fiber craftwork. The Huayra BC represents the pinnacle of this vision, engineered to the utmost levels of track-capable perfection as the ultimate iteration. Named after Benny Caiola, a famous Ferrari collector and Pagani's biggest customer, the BC leverages advanced active aerodynamics and material science to enhance the base Huayra exponentially. Air is directed through active flaps and custom carbon intakes and wings. Lighter carbon-tanium embraces every inch of the interior and exterior. The AMG twin-turbo 512 gets more boost, control, and reduced back pressure via new exhaust plumbing. The result is 789 horsepower, propelling a car 300 pounds lighter than the standard Huayra, handcrafted to the highest levels of scientific performance. Yet the BC retains Pagani's trademark flair for the dramatic merging technology and passion in automobile's relentless pursuit of perfection. With only 20 models to be built, the $2.6 million Pagani Huayra BC promises to provide an experience bordering on rapturous for its exclusive clientele. Number 3. Bugatti Chiron Supersport. Ever since its debut in 2016 as the monumental successor to the legendary Veyron, the 1,500-horsepower Bugatti Chiron has lived up to its promise as an engineering tour de force. But in 2019, Bugatti pushed the envelope even further to create the ultimate demonstration of the Chiron's potential, the 304 miles per hour Chiron Supersport 300+. To pursue 300 miles per hour, Bugatti optimized every detail of the Chiron. Extending the bodywork resulted in a more aerodynamic teardrop profile and elongated tail section dubbed the long-tail treatment. New wheels, exterior finishes, and a fixed rear wing generate ideal downforce balance across all speeds. The quad-turbo 8-liter W16 engine received upgrades to reliably deliver 1,600+ horsepower required for the endeavor. On August 2, 2019, at Volkswagen's Era Lessian test track, Bugatti test driver Andy Wallace piloted a pre-production Chiron Supersport 300 Plus to an average top speed of 304.773 miles per hour over 2 runs. With this tremendous feat, the Chiron SS 300 Plus claimed the crown as the first production vehicle to officially exceed 300 miles per hour, a watershed moment in automotive history. Currently, this supercar is priced at around $5.2 million US. This is a limited edition model with only 30 units produced. The Chiron SS 300 Plus represents the ultimate tribute to chasing speed without limits. Number 2. Pagani ZHP Baretta. After nearly 2 decades of the Zonda representing Pagani Automobile's relentless pursuit of carbon fiber artistry, Horacio Pagani appropriately saved his ultimate dream machine for last, the breathtaking one-off Zonda HP Baretta. Unveiled in 2017 as a specially commissioned farewell to Pagani's first supercar, the Baretta distilled the bespoke Zonda experience into an unadulterated speedster form. Strikingly, the Baretta eschews any semblance of a windshield or roof, expelling all barriers between driver, passenger, and the elements. This lent Pagani's designers absolute freedom to sculpt Barcetta's seductive carbon fiber bodywork without constraint, creating a visually arresting shape that appears born from the wind itself. Artfully styled shut lines and facets travel the exterior like brushstrokes on a rolling canvas. Within the monocoque chassis lies a 7.3-liter naturally aspirated AMG 512, tuned to 760 horsepower in the Baretta. Titanium, Avianol, and Carbo-Titanium, materials as exotic as the Baretta itself, appoint the interior as a sanctum dedicated wholly to motoring pleasure. Outrageous style fuses with the exotic persona of a jet fighter cockpit. Number 1. Lamborghini Veneno Roadster. As a 50th birthday present to itself, Lamborghini went all out creating the Veneno, a 250 miles per hour fantasy machine that even outlandished the brand's already outrageous reputation. But the open-top Veneno Roadster took the insanity even further into uncharted territory free of windshields and rooflines. This final iteration embraced its rolled-down toplessness without limits. The Roadster's angular silhouette appears shaped by sheer aerodynamic force rather than artistic form. Within lies a 6.5-liter 512 generating 740 horsepower for 60 miles per hour sprints in 2.9 seconds. Only 9 examples would ever be built, ensuring the Roadster matched the coupe for exclusivity fitting a half-century birthday celebration. Priced around $4 million, the Veneno Roadster commands stratospheric sums appropriate for a Lamborghini built without compromise. But for all the speed records and dollar signs, the real magic of the Roadster lies in its celebration of Lamborghini's fearless spirit. For 50 years since Ferruccio Lamborghini himself, the Raging Bull has proudly bucked conventions and kicked up a ruckus. The Veneno Roadster fittingly embodies this untamed attitude. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.